Hey there everybody, thanks for pressing play. In this video I want to show you this car here. This is a 2020 Toyota Aygo X Play. This is a cool little car, really nice car, and the previous owner is actually related to one of the people that work in the group here, and it's a really nice low mileage one with just under about 10,000 or so kilometers. At the garage here we actually used to be a Toyota garage going back 10 or 11 years ago, and we sold lots of Aygos and we took them as trade-ins, but this is the first one I've actually sat in and had a chance to experience in this newer shape. I tell you what, I'm really well impressed. Just before we get going on this car, Brian is my name, Fitzpatrick's Garage, a family-run business in operation for almost 70 years in Kildare town here, and we are Toyota approved service agents, so we can service this car properly. And like we're saying to you, we know this car well, so there's a good history on the car. If there's information you want, it'd be great if you call me, right? I work with lots of other people, but the videos take a little bit of time, and I really appreciate give me a shout, because it is my job to sell these cars as well. But yeah, give us a shout, call, text, WhatsApp, whatever suits even. 086 843 1945 if you want information on the car or information on financing or trading in your car, whatever it is. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look around the features on the outside of the car, of which I think there are some cool ones. Look at the features on the inside, and we'll go for a quick drive in the car. And like we said to you, if it's something you want to buy, give us a shout afterwards, or if you're just on the internet and you're watching on YouTube, let me know in the comment section below if there's something I've missed that you want to know about one of these cars. Things that I like on this car, lots of things actually, but I actually think the front grille is really cool down low. So it has that kind of X shape which a lot of Toyotas have from that generation, but the red accent on the bumper makes it look really sporty, and it matches those wing mirrors and the little side accents down the side of the car as well. One thing that's always stood out to me on these cars are the headlights. When you see them coming towards you, they have these absolutely massive daytime running lights, which also serve as parking lights when you turn on the headlights, and it's also got front fog lights as well. The engine on that car then, that is a 1 litre petrol engine, super frugal, but you know what, right, on a car this size it's an absolute hoot to drive. And the reason I suppose is, while a 1 litre engine wouldn't seem like a big powerful engine, and it's not, it's the power to weight ratio. It is absolutely great fun driving a car like this in this size. I really enjoy it. The other cool thing is, remember we had those really nice headlights at the front with the big parkers and daytime running lights. Look at the taillights. The taillights are equally striking looking, so when you're driving behind the car, it's got a really distinctive finish. And if you look down low, it has a red accent on the bottom of the bumper, which matches what we saw on the front and the side of the vehicle also. And they're not any kind of cheap lighting, they are proper LED on the rear, just like what we saw on the front for the daytime running lights as well. Anyway, so it's getting a little bit dark on the outside, so I'm going to show you the inside of the car when it brightens up tomorrow. Short term, I'm going to go for a drive and just show you what I mean, how enjoyable the car is to drive. I love driving cars around this size. They're so nimble, they're so easy to manoeuvre. They always feel just really responsive and kind of sporty in the strangest way. I don't know how to describe it. They always feel nice and sporty, and I always like the Aygo, even going back to 2006 when we were selling them brand new. It's just a really peppy, responsive type of car. But the only thing I find on this model is it's much more sure-footed. It feels kind of wider and more planted on the road, so it definitely feels like a safe car overall. But the engine, like we're saying to you, it's really responsive. I love the clocks down here as well. They look really cool with the little rev counter on the left hand side along through here. And on a back road like this, it actually sits quite nicely. You feel very confident driving a car like this on a road like this. And obviously a car like this isn't going to suit everyone, but for me, and I mean we've all sorts of cars that we could be driving here at the garage, I just look at in a car like this, it's so easy, just turn around, point the other way, and it feels really responsive when you put your foot there. Anyway, don't take my word for it, come try it yourself. And the car is a nearly new car, so it feels really good in all aspects in terms of driving and accelerating and braking and clutch. In my opinion, the car drives really well. Actually, one thing that stands out to me on these cars, the model before it was a small car when it came out first. It was practical and straightforward, but obviously it felt like a small car. This, however, feels like a much more significant and safer and probably more sure-footed car on the road than the ones I was used to when we used to sell them 10 years ago. This is just a really nice car, I think. And the thing about it is, I have to say, at a price point like this, if you're looking at a car, so maybe it's your main car, maybe you're young, maybe you're old, maybe you want just a small car that's pragmatic, but there's loads of stuff on it. Actually, it's a really well equipped car. But like I said to you, I think it's chic, it looks well on the outside, it's something, you know, a little bit different. And if we look around the inside, there's an awful lot of stuff on it as well. It's cool. Anyway, actually, do you know what? I always think red and grey go really well together. So, the fuel filter cap is open. Let's close that. The car actually hasn't been cleaned for the video, so this is pretty much how it came in. I just gave it a quick power wash. One thing I want to highlight, these wheels are diamond cut. So you see the way they're really reflective and shiny. They look so cool when the sun shines on them or under artificial light at night time. In terms of the boot, okay, so the boot in a car like this, it's not going to be massive, but you have to look and say, is it big enough for what I need? The previous owner actually went to the trouble of getting a boot liner to protect the boot, and under there's actually a spare wheel. That's just a Toyota safety kit. So the boot, I mean, it's usable, it's not big, but it is in excellent condition. In terms of the rear of the car, I would go as far as saying this car has had very little use on the inside. So it's more of a 4-seater car, by the way, something to be aware of. 2 head restraints, 2 3-point safety belts, and for anyone with young family, there is ISOFIX points on either side, so you can put 2 child seats in the back. Okay, in terms of size, I am sitting in the front of the car. I think this is a fair kind of way to sit in the front of the car. So if I get into the back, this is the honest space that's in the back. It is absolutely, no, it's not. It's reasonably tight, but do you know what? I'm 6 foot. I have enough headroom. The legroom, it is technically ample. I can do it. So I'm 6 foot. I'm in here. And to be fair, I think kids, no problem. You know, people that are under this height of 6 foot, be absolutely fine. I think it's worth mentioning in terms of safety these days, they all have steel bars for side impact protection along through there. One thing I noticed on this car as well, so driver and passenger airbag, that's fine. But I also noticed as well, there's side airbags down through here for side impact protection. I always love the seats on Aygos because they always had the headrest built into the seat itself. So they always look like a really sporty seat. Again, nice material like what we saw on the rear, and then you have this lighter area on the peripheral edges as well. Sitting in the car, there is electrics for windows, there is electrics for mirrors, there is collision avoidance, which means if you're not concentrating and someone stops in front of you under about 30 kilometers an hour, the car is going to try and stop you hitting the car in front if it detects that you haven't hit the brake pedal. Down through here then, there is a speed limiter, there is lane departure warning. Geez, okay, so it's quite a lot of stuff on this car actually. Bluetooth for phone, controls for radio over through here, heating controls in through here, very simple and straightforward. Drinks holders with some storage down here, auxiliary 12 volt, and then a USB connection that most people are going to use these days. The USB connection is pretty important here because it allows you to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, which means you're going to have maps, which are Google, and then basically on my phone, obviously you have an Apple screen. If you have an Android, it'll be an Android screen. The radio is pretty easy to use, so your smartphone connection we saw was there. Things like audio, phone, setup, nice, big and bright. I like even simple things like when you turn off the radio, you can just have this absolutely massive functional clock and date as well. The other thing as well is it's also got a reverse camera too. So like I was saying to you, there's a lot of stuff in this car. Glove box over here with some manuals in through there. That glove box is after getting bigger. And I know that sounds like a small thing, but there was a time when the Aygo just was a teeny weeny car. This car has grown up a lot. Like I said to you, it feels way more significant than it did before. It feels safe on the road. There's a nice level of equipment, even things like having a trip computer which tells you average speed and fuel efficiency, but importantly how much fuel you've got left, exterior temperature indicator. These are things sometimes that are missing on cars in this price point. So at the price point this car is at, I think it offers a lot. Actually, one other thing as well, the steering wheel is completely height adjustable, but importantly the seat is height adjustable. That's something that gets overlooked sometimes on this segment of the car, and it's really important, and it just means then that whoever's driving the car can get a really nice driving position. So anyway, there you have it. That is our 2020 Toyota Aygo X Play, and I think this is kind of like what's called a smartphone connection version. Anyway, if there's more information you want on the car, 086 843 1945. Brian is my name, Fitzpatrick's Garage, Kildare Town. I think at the price point a car like this is at, it really is great value for money, and the brilliant thing about cars like this, they don't really lose a lot of money every year, so you can drive a car like this for 3 or 4 years and actually still have something that's worth some money. The car will be supplied serviced with a warranty, and like we're saying, we can take any trade in and we can organise finance. Anyway, hopefully the car's of interest. Thank you for watching.